Dead as a Doornail, Book 6 of the Stan Kraychik Mysteries. Author, Grant Michaels. Publisher, St. Martin's Press, New York. Narrator, Eric Aust. Chapter 30. Back in the South End, my first stop is Myron's Domestic Art, to find out if he's the one who was doing research on my property. It's got to be Myron. Only a dowager queen like him would dare to use a name like Tamantha while on official business, some joke. In his store, Myron has set up an elaborate electric train layout. He's playing with them as I go in, and he barely acknowledges me. Betty, however, seems to recognize me and tries to lick my hand. "Nice darky," I say, petting him gingerly. Betty may have saved my life, but he's still got a nice set of sharp, pointy teeth around that velvety tongue. "Quite a setup," I say to Myron. He answers without looking up. "It's a Lionel Silver Anniversary Commemorative Edition. You don't see these very often." "If ever," I reply. The sleek silver toy locomotive chugs its way around the longer loop of a figure-8 section of track. Tiny puffs of steam shoot from the train's smokestack. Myron touches a button on the control box and the little speedster blows its whistle. Betty's ears perk up and Myron's face beams with adoration for his new prize. I ask Myron, "Where did you get this setup?" "It was a gift," he says, still not looking up. "Quite an extravagance," I say. "An admirer, perhaps?" Finally, Myron looks at me. "It's really none of your business, Dollface." "Are they Timmy's?" I say. "They look like something an eternal boy like Timmy would have." Myron says, "Would you mind taking your pop psychology somewhere else? I was having fun until you came in." I tell him, "I know Thorne didn't get those trains for you because the police caught him before he got them out of Timmy's place." Myron stops the little train as it enters a tunnel. I say, "Did you steal them yourself?" "No, I did not," says Myron with a choo-choo-like huff. "And even if I did, who is going to prosecute me, Tamantha?" "His estate can." "His estate?" Myron laughs. "You think Tammy's estate is going to come charging into my store and accuse me of stealing his trains? Do you even know who is executing his estate?" "No." "Well, I do," said Myron, which just proves how well you didn't know Timmy. Dollface, I know where to look for things, and I know how to get them." "Speaking of looking for things, Myron, you were certainly busy looking up information about my property." "Oh, Dollface," he says. "Now, why would I do that?" I feel my jaw clench. Myron says, "Oh, sorry, you don't like me to call you that, do you, Dollface?" "Someone was snooping through the records for my property, Myron, and I think it was you." "Last I heard," said Myron, "that's all public information. Whoever it was used the name Tamantha, and I want to know why." "Why what?" says Myron. "The real why is, why are you accusing me of anything?" "Because you always called Timmy Tamantha." "So," he says, "is there a copyright on that name? Besides, what would I want with your crummy property? Sorry to say it, Dollface, but your house is a mess." "Don't call me that," Betty growls. Myron says, "And don't you come into my store accusing me of things." Now Betty barks. I'm pretty sure that the next step is, and it has something to do with Betty's teeth. "Nice doggy," I say quietly. Myron says, "Why don't you go next door and bother Selena? She's been after that pile of broken bricks for years." But there was some problem. Like the whole thing was stuck in cement. Then the next thing we all know, the place is sold, and here you are holding the deed. Miss Selena was ripping mad, so I guess she was the one snooping about, as you say. She even mentioned that you might have bribed a clerk to get the place. But you wouldn't stoop to such naughty things, would you, Dollface? Once again, I don't want to believe it was that kindly old guy who took a shine to me. "We all need a little security," he said with a wink. Maybe he fudged some bureaucratic protocol as a favor to me. Now, with Selena nosing around, I may end up losing the property. Well, easy come, easy go. If it does happen, maybe I ought to settle for a nice South End condo, some virtual real estate. Then maybe I can settle into a nice gay marriage too, some virtual reality. I say, "But why would Selena use Timmy's name? They must know her at City Hall." Myron says, "Dollface, I really don't know, and I really don't care. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to get back to work here. I leave Myron to play Casey Jones on the railroad, and I go next door to the gateway to paradise. A Gay Mysteries audiobooks. I think it is easy to hate a label, but a face humanizes the word. So this effort is twofold: to offer comfort to those like myself that your world didn't end because you don't fit into the view of acceptable society on both sides, and in hopes of helping those with family that are LGBTQ, that it doesn't mean we are aliens from the child they once knew. Reassure them so they can maybe be supportive at the same time, being true to their values.